What is up, Earth Sphere citizens and rebel colonists? I am just a simple new type, and in this video, we are continuing our adventure through After Colony 195. Last time, the Gundam boys attacked New Edward's base, but ended up killing the good guys. They ran right into Oz's trap. We also learned that both Relina and Zex are a part of the Peacecraft lineage. In this episode, we will see Zex attack the Sank Kingdom, his former home. We will see Heero attempt to do what he does best. Try to explode himself, and we will learn more about the Maguan Corps mobile suits. So let's get into this. Zex and Noin are having a conversation after taking over Luxembourg base. Zex believes that Oz will free the world from the Alliance's grip, but Noin thinks that Oz taking control will eventually be no different than how the Alliance is currently running things. A carrier lands with Otto carrying the tall geese. His ribs are broken. It appears it was from test piloting the tall geese, and he was injured in the process. He says this is the fastest mobile suit he has ever piloted. The mobile suit's limits haven't been reached yet, however. He tells Zex that he should be careful when piloting this tall geese. They plan on heading to the Sank Kingdom. Zex takes the tall geese out without a test. At a new location, Duel and Heero take it to the courts in their new school. Duel tells Heero that he is always looking a little too suspicious. A limo pulls up. It is Relina. It seems that she was looking for Heero and finally found him. Meanwhile, Oz attacks the Sank Kingdom. Of course, not all nations are going to allow Oz to simply come in and take over. Zex goes in with the tall geese while Noin pilots the Ares. He struggles to handle the immense speed. The nation has laser defense systems. Zex tells everyone to retreat, but he continues to battle. He realizes that the tall geese is most likely a limitless mobile suit, but there is one weakness, and it is the pilot. After this realization, he too retreats. Back in the desert, Rashid and the Maguan Corps chastise Katra for leaving to help the other Gundam pilots. He tells Rashid of the existence of the other Gundams. Hey Katra, your voice sounds a little familiar there.
This must be the manual.
No, it's nothing like that at all.
My existence is the reason.
At the circus, Trowa and Wu Fei enjoy a nice cup of tea. Wu Fei is still feeling shame from losing a duel with Treize, Kutranada. Zex wakes up to Noin by his side. He tells her that the tall geese will sacrifice its pilots in order to win, and will ignore the pilots' needs. Zex wants to go back in the tall geese and finish off the Sank Kingdom. Otto overhears this and decides to take things into his own hands. He gets into the tall geese and handles business himself. Zex finds out and tells Otto to come back. Otto tells him he wants to sacrifice himself for Zex and not for Oz. Aw, he loves his buddy. Meanwhile, Relina talks to a picture of her dad when suddenly an explosion occurs. It is Duo and Heero. It isn't healthy to be turned on by this, Relina. Seek some help. Duo and Heero complete their mission by destroying an Oz base. Back at the Sank Kingdom, Otto comes in, powering the tall geese. Zex and Noin follow him in a copter. Otto crashes into the Sank Kingdom base. He lays dead in the cockpit, but the base is destroyed. Zex walks through the remains of the Sank Kingdom, his former home. He looks at a picture of his father and tells him that he is unfit to run the Peacecraft family. He finds a framed photo of his Peacecraft heirs, including him and Relina. He believes that Relina may be the one worthy enough to rule the kingdom. The episode ends with Relina wanting Heero to stay by his side, as Heero and Duo walk away from her. Dost thou beeth too dramatic? Lady Un is concerned that Treize is given too much special priority. Treize tells her that this isn't a concern. Zex and Treize have a meeting. Now that Zex has taken control of the Sank Kingdom, he assumes that Zex will become Milliardo Peacecraft once again, but Zex insists on serving Treize and Oz for a little longer. Treize asks him if he will now take off his mask since he no longer has to hide his identity from the Sank Kingdom. He, however, keeps it on as a reminder of his scars on the battlefield. Lady Un briefs her men on a mission to destroy Gundams as well as transport tourist mobile suits to an Oz base. She gives the Gundams the classifications 01 through 05. Zex will take on Unit 1 with the tall geese. Noin will stay back at the base to back up Lady Un. Meanwhile, Duo and Heero get a mission to attack the Tallis and the transport ships. Duo has a bad feeling about this one. The other Gundam pilots also get missions. Wu Fei is still being dramatic and denouncing himself as the Gundam pilot. Duo and Heero find the route that Oz is traveling and tracks down the transport train. Catra comes in to help Duo, but he tells them this is a decoy and not the real target. Heero heads to the ground and takes out Oz units, but Tallis comes in. He tells him to duel like some 16th century man, and Heero of course accepts. They fight with beam sabers. At the base, Lady Un contacts the Bulge. Yeah, look at that bulge. Oz has taken control of all of the Alliance bases in space. Lady Un tells the Gundam pilots that if they do not surrender their Gundams, then she will attack the colonies. Suddenly, Dr. J comes on the monitors and tells Oz that he is the one fighting and to leave the colonists out of it. Dr. J decides to surrender. Dr. J, you might want to tell Heero he's a little trigger happy. He might do something a little... Wow. Didn't even give it 2 seconds of thought, just goes straight to suicide always. He essentially called Lady Un's bluff. Trowa in the heavy arms comes in and picks up Heero's body. The Gundams all retreat. Unit 1 is destroyed. Dr. J is also safe now. Noin tells Lady Un that Treize is indeed mad at her about her cowardly tactics. Duel and Catra meet up after hiding for a little bit. Catra lets him tag along with him and the Maguan Corps. Zex and Noin gather around the remaining scraps of the Gundanium that was once the Gundam. Zex wants the Gundam scraps to fix up the Talgis. They send the scraps to Lake Victoria base. Lady Un apologizes to Treize. He decides to send her to space, but she will first go to Moscow as a representative. Catra and Duo meet up with Sadaoui, the leader of the Maguan Corps. The two Gundam pilots also officially introduce one another. Relina finds out that Heero already transferred to another school. She also heads to Moscow. Marquis Weeridge meets with Relina and allows her into the party. Weeridge is a part of the Rumfeller Foundation. Specifically, he is a part of the moderate faction. He is also Relina's real grandfather. He tells Relina that he was fond of the Peacecraft family ideals. Lady Un joins the party as she was invited as a representative of Treize. Relina doesn't hesitate and pulls out a gun and tries to shoot Lady Un for killing her father. She misses and runs off. At the Maguan Corps, the city is underground, but they have a city front on the surface. Oz soldiers come into the city. They end up placing bombs all throughout the town. It seems they are after the Gundams. They plan on evacuating the city and attacking the soldiers. This will allow the Gundams to escape. At midnight, the bombs go off. Everyone is safe. The Maguanocs attack. Most are piloting Maguanocs, but some are Abdul Customs and Ahmad Customs. The WMS-03 Maganac Abdul Custom and the WMS-03 Maganac Ahmad Custom are variants of the WMS-03 Maganac. It is a mobile suit designed by the Maguan Corps specifically for desert combat. It is very versatile and can surpass the Leo in performance, though my guess is that it wouldn't hold up outside of the desert environment, but they can be adapted to be used in space, so who knows. They are also designed to back up and support Catra's Sandrock Gundam. It has Vulcans, a shield, a beam rifle, a beam saber, and an arm rifle. It also has an anti-beam coating which protects from beam attacks but doesn't protect the head. Many of the pilots customize their own Maguanac unit. The Ahmad Custom is piloted by Ahmad and has a bigger shoulder armor and high mobility backpack. This adds a heat tomahawk and a 180mm cannon. The Abdul Custom has an additional camera on its head and large thrusters. This unit acts like a commander type unit. Catra and Duo leave on a shuttle, but Duo wants to help somehow. He tells Catra to turn around. Duo gets in the death scythe and does a little sniping. Meanwhile, Relina is running through Moscow. Some soldiers find her. Noin comes in and tells them that she is taking over. Noin takes Relina into custody. Heero wakes up badly injured to find himself at the traveling circus with Trowa. We find out that a month has gone by since Oz initially took control of the Alliance, and they really haven't done anything since. On top of that, Trowa hasn't received a mission since that day. In a region in China, a leader was preaching peace and demilitarization. He was assassinated, and the oppressive Colonel Bunte was placed in charge. A series of guerrillas begin an attack on this region. The leader of this group is Sally Po. They escape an attack. Leos come in. She whips out a bazooka, but from out of the forest comes Wu Fei and the Shinlong to assist. It should also be noted that Wu Fei refers to Shinlong Gundam as Nataku. Look at that, he named it. That's nice. Wu Fei joins them in the city where they find soldiers beating up a restaurant owner. Wu Fei comes in to save Sally and the restaurant owner, but then calls himself a coward. Get over it, dude. Wu Fei takes off on his own. Sally returns to the gorilla hometown, but Oz comes in and attacks them. It seems that Brunte is talking to an Oz soldier and is allowing Oz to simply take over the nation, thinking that he will still be in charge. He betrays the people of his nation. Wu Fei comes back. The gorillas yell at Wu Fei that he needs to help with the Gundam. A Leo comes in and attacks them. One gorilla dies in Wu Fei's arms. Sally even sacrifices herself to help Wu Fei get his groove back, but he saves Sally and gets into his Gundam. He takes down the remaining Ares and helicopters, and Oz retreats. Wu Fei sees that no matter how weak Sally is, she will fight no matter what. This inspires Wu Fei. At the circus, the ringleader tells everyone that they plan on doing a performance on an Oz base. Trowa decides to handle the performance on his own. Of course, he is going to use this opportunity to make an attack. This time, however, he is acting on his emotions. He says it will be his last grandstand show. And that will do it for this episode. This was a very dramatic one. It will be like this for a little while longer, so if you're hoping for something a little less Shakespearean drama, you aren't going to find it in Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Next time, we will see if Trowa goes through with blowing himself up. Now Heero is influencing others towards his suicidal tendencies. Relina also gets her peacecraft on, while the boys head to Antarctica. But until next time, new types, find someone who will love you like Relina loves Heero. You can literally get away with murder and all will be fine. Peace.